Hey gang, it's Jerry. Just woke up from a power snooze. It's 8 o'clock on Wednesday. Kind of off a night. Without Tyler, so we'll give it here a minute and see who tunes in here. I know I got everything messed up. There it is. Brett Williams is on the spot. Somebody else is here too. So thank you for tuning in. I am somewhere up here by the Great White North this evening. It's we've been going gangbusters here lately. So, kind of trying to get caught back up. Hey, Mr. Jim Ziegler, hope you made it home okay tonight. Brett, where are you tonight? If Jim would like, or one of you guys want to come on tonight as a guest, I'll gladly do it if you got a hands free or something like that. If you guys want to come on tonight, Tyler's not going to be coming on since I don't know what he's doing, but he said he had something to do with one of his school buddies. So kind of one of those deals. So. Hey Jim, make sure you tell Christine I'm up here close to her house right now. You'll appreciate that, I think. I had to lay down and take myself a power snooze. Probably a good thing I set my alarm right. Would have been OVER, OVA. But anyway, I was kind of looking around at some things to try to figure out what to talk about tonight. Looking at the backwards sheds. Yeah, you're just about back to the barn. I got you now. There's kind of a laughing stock there. Mr. Ziegler is pointed something out here. It's kind of an inside joke. Inside joke up our way up there in New Carlisle, Ohio. He's actually close to the house right now, and I'm not. So he's keeping me up to date on what he's seeing around there. But anyway, noticed that I can't remember what it was. Joey Gates, how are you, sir? Glad you're tuning in tonight. First of all, what we're going to start talking about, I've kind of been following this pretty close. It's not really trucking related, but it's a consumer related thing that we all need to be paying attention to. I don't know if any of y'all have followed or heard here about 3 weeks ago. There was a fire out in Holcomb, Kansas, near Garden City. Tyson Foods packing plant out there is a beef packing plant caught on fire about 3 weeks ago. They kill about 5 to 6% of the capacity as far as slaughter capacity for beef for the entire United States. So pretty significant amount of beef goes through there, for lack of better words. I think the place employed about 3,600 people. They actually had a facility caught on fire out there. It's going to be down for many, many months. And the reason I'm bringing this up is it's going to affect everybody's pocketbook. You know, if you're not raising your own meat or whatever like that. So that's why I kind of wanted to bring it up. It's being in the livestock industry, we kind of follow these trends and everything like that, and it really kind of struck a chord with me. It's no different than you hear something about a refinery when it goes down, for gasoline and diesel prices, the prices jump up. Well, this is kind of related to the same thing, but it's the dealing with the beef industry as far as what ends up at the counter and what have you. So that's why I thought it was kind of important. I'd kind of bring this up, kind of educate everybody on that. If you're interested in it, if not, I got a couple of the things we'll talk about in a little bit. But anyway, back to what I was going to say. Keith Hill, welcome aboard from Tyler, Texas. But anyway, going back to Tyson Foods, the plant that was on fire out there. They're killing 5 to 6% of the. They're slaughtering. Let me put that back in different terms, a little bit friendlier. But slaughter about 5 to 6% of the daily consumer needs, 7 days a week. I think they ran 3 shifts, and they run 7 days a week out there. Howdy. I see you there too. But anyway, what that kind of means and kind of some other things that's going on behind the scene. Just no different than the oil world, but it affects the farmers as well. The reason it kind of struck a chord with me is since I'm a cattle buyer and what have you for this company I work for, it kind of struck a chord with me. The the price of beef dropped immediately, the price of beef on the live animals dropped immediately, $5 to $15 a hundredweight, which is a pretty significant drop, basically for overnight. But the amazing part of this whole thing was now some things are starting to get uncovered, and I guess Senator Perdue, the Secretary of Agriculture, has been asked to get involved with this and take a look at it. Is as a result of the kill plant going, or the slaughter facility getting shut down, the availability of meat has actually gone down, therefore driving the prices up. They were already working at about $130 per animal profit, and we're talking about the processing facilities, not the farmers, which we'll get into that in a little bit here. They went from making about $135 a head, clear profit after everything, after taxes, employee cost of that animal, basically the cost of operating, went from $135 an animal to right now it's very close to $500 per animal. And the reason that the Secretary of Agriculture was actually got involved with this thing is the actual producer, the farmer, the feedlot, whoever, they went from losing $25 to $27 per head to $50 a head right now based on current markets. So now, Keith, what I'm talking about here is we're talking about the impact that the slaughter facility in Holcomb, Kansas, is kind of the snowball effect of what's going on that is owned by Tyson. There was a fire up there a few weeks ago, and we're kind of discussing that. So, but anyway, going back to what I was saying, the farmer who was already losing money has just about doubled their losses inside of 2 weeks, which is a hard enough pill for a farmer to swallow anyway, or a producer. To the processor is now clearing over $500 a head. I don't know where these information. I think this information came from the USDA, some things that they've gathered on it. So it just kind of drives me up the wall. That the very guys that are out here putting it all on the line to raise it, they're already losing money anyway, which that's just kind of the way it is at times, just like trucking and everything else. It's win some, lose some, but losing even more at the but yet the processing facilities, Tyson, Tyson, I shouldn't give him a call out any of these corporate deals, but anyway, these processors, their profits have gone through the roof as a result of it. At the same time, everybody's losing their tail right now. It always seems like the guy at the bottom of the food chain, the one that's got the most invested in making it happen, is the ones that take it the most in the shorts on this deal. So I just found it rather interesting, that hopefully I'll find it kind of the same way there. So that's why I kind of brought that up, which I guess that's just the way it is in corporate America out here, as far as in the service industry and everything else. So we got to buck it up and deal with it, so got to keep the American farmer, the producers, not just in the United States, but Canada, all over the world, they got a tough way to go right now because of the way things are going in the world. So anyway, I'll take a quick minute here to recognize our main sponsor, Davy Crockett, TA, down on exit 26, I believe it is, or 29 in Tennessee, the Davy Crockett Travel Center, TA. Yeah, they got an IHOP and everything there, so if y'all are ever down there on I-81 in Tennessee, make sure you stop in and say hello to the folks at the Davy Crockett. They take care of us, try to keep the lights on for us, if you will, so show your support. They're a family-owned franchise for TA. They're going to sit-down diner and everything there as well, full-service shop, so if you're out there on the road, it's the place to be. But anyway, also noted, I can't remember what it was here. Something to do with trucking. I guess I'm getting senile. Who is Howdy or somebody still there? Who's out there in the world right now? Anybody got any topics they want me to bring up right now? I can't think. My goodness, it was almost there. I'm gonna have to start making notes, I guess. Just dealing with trucking. Well, I guess I'm just losing it. Tyler's not with me tonight. He's doing something with a friend of his. I guess he's got some kind of school project. He is working part time. I don't know, part time. I think he's working full time anymore. I'm never around the barn, so hopefully everything's all good with him. Cripes, man, I have just flat out lost my mind. I don't even know what day it is other than Thursday. Somebody reminded me that I missed the show last night, but I was actually out on the road, so. But I guess we can talk about East Coast driving habits, how they differ from other parts of the country, and what the similarities are. I've been dealing a lot with the East Coast here this week, and it is just, these people are flat out insane. Insane. I was running close to, I think I was running between 60 and 65 miles an hour coming up the interstate today out in eastern Pennsylvania. Guy comes up the right side, didn't care, completely lost his car over the hood. I mean, I'm just so glad I didn't have any cattle on, which last night when I was out in that same area, I was tooling down the road, and I'm not going to single out four-wheelers because I was headed down a 4-lane road. It was a surface road without on-ramps, just surface entrances, and I couldn't believe it. A big truck pulled right out of a truck stop onto a surface road. No warning whatsoever. I'm loaded with cattle. Car next to me, all I could do was shut it down. And I mean, you talk about a hair-raising experience, and all you hear in the back is thud, thud, thud. It was like dominoes. I have not been so livid in my life. It's one thing when a passenger vehicle does it, you expect it. When a fellow big truck does it, it fries me like no tomorrow. So, really put me in a sweetheart of a mood last night. And I don't even know where we as a industry where we could try to get people to wake up, not even just as an industry, just as fellow human beings, to get people to wake up and quit being so self-serving. It's absolutely pathetic the way people have become. It's always about them, and they don't ever worry about anybody else. They don't realize that, you're jeopardizing not only your life, but everything's life behind you. They don't take into consideration those are living animals and everything back there. So just my little rant for tonight, I guess, is a good way to put it. Man, it was almost there, too, the trucking topic that I wanted to discuss tonight and involve the government. Oh, I know what it is. The federal government has just now the Department of Transportation and the FMCSA has just released another way to get in companies' pockets. They're going to start charging $1.25 per driver per truck to each trucking company for every driver they have to access a database for a clearinghouse for drug and alcohol substance abuse for a clearinghouse. I guess the way we were doing it before, as far as them inquiring with the previous carriers, just isn't good enough. Now they've got to have a government run clearinghouse, and I'm sure that it's probably the same clearinghouse that does driver's licenses now. The good old DAC check that everybody always just loves. Everybody's got to go in. It's not good enough for them to go check your driver's license with the License Bureau. They've got to go in, and you can be blackballed or anything else. Those of you that are drivers all know about the DAC check. Well, now I think the first of the year, January 1st, is when they're going to start to enact the driver's clearinghouse for drug and alcohol checks, so they don't have to bother previous employees. It's a double-edged sword right there, but of course it's going to turn into another one of those big business deals that DAC is going to be involved with, or whoever they decide to. Another way to get into our pockets instead of relying on a company to check, do a background, or not a background check, but as far as the drug testing and everything else like that. If you've been let go because of drug use or whatever, come up positive on a urinalysis or anything like that, don't anybody take this the wrong way. I'm all for background checks when it comes to that, as far as employment checks. You know, why, not necessarily why you left a job, but if you were dismissed under a positive alcohol test or something like that, I'm all for it. But to have the government being involved with that, just like they are with every other aspect of this industry, I personally feel is an infringement on our rights, not only as citizens of this country, but also just hardworking people out here trying to make this country go around, and then to be mandated and basically another tax for everybody that they're going to have to pay into. Even the guy that's a one truck operation has got to subscribe to this daggone thing. It's $1.25 per driver per year that the government is going to impose on companies. You know, just another way to get in people's pockets. It blew my mind. I don't remember where the source was, but I caught it just a few minutes ago when I was just kind of scrolling through and found a few things. So it floored me, as if they're not intruding enough on our life with these electronic logs. And right now, with I think it's those of you that are running electronic logs, I believe January 1st of 2020 is when the actual mandate for the electronic logging device goes into full effect, versus what's now called the AOBR. Bill Weaver and I were talking about it. I think that's the proper terminology. I'm not real sure. I'm still on paper being a livestock guy. So, but the AOBR portion of the electronic logging device is going to be done over or whatever. So, all these guys that went out and bought whatever logging device, now those aren't going to be good enough. If we're not been able to figure out with the mandate, when it goes into full effect, if the wheels even turn on a truck while you're off duty, it throws you back on duty or whatever, and it jacks up your duty status. So if there's anybody that really can enlighten me on that a little bit more, let me know, and maybe we can discuss that next week. Depending on my availability and how hard we've been running, I realize that I'm off a night, but sometimes we got to do what we got to do, and I got to pay the bills as well. So I noticed, I'm going to guess it's probably Dave Coleman has joined us as well, and Danny Jennings, thanks for tuning in tonight. Blake Anspaugh, thanks a lot for tuning in. I see you're out there too. Let me know where you guys are at. I know where the Jack and Dave show is. Those guys are probably sitting there with their feet up. Not gonna lie, I got mine up in a hotel room right now. I'm not out in a big truck. I'm Josh Voorhees. Welcome aboard tonight, sir. I'm gonna guess you're probably in Springfield or maybe on the road. Hopefully you got your truck up and going. I saw you had some truck problems, so glad to see you're back up and going. Anyway, I didn't make it to GATS this year, as many of you know. I got to make a living somehow. So I'm out here chasing the dream or chasing cows, whichever way you want to put it. This week has been a fun-filled week of actually truly bullhauling. The other night I loaded 2 in the dark. That was a thrill in itself. Loading bulls in the dark, and then I got a phone call today from the dispatcher, and she started laughing, and I said, "What?" She said, "Well, I picked up another stop for you. It'll finish out the load that you're taking to the buying station." And I said, "All right, sounds like a plan." Blake Anspaugh is in Defiance, Ohio. What a deal. I was just up in that neck of the woods the other day. But anyway, get a phone call from the dispatcher today, and she goes, "Well, I just finished out your load." I said, "Okay, what have I got?" She started laughing. She goes, "You get to pick up 4 bulls." I said, "Oh, great." As if 2 in the barn's not enough right now. Now there's going to be 6 in there. So this should be a lot of fun. Wish me luck. Hopefully I end up in one piece. If you hear of anything differently, or hear some old trashy truck driver got trampled by some bulls somewhere, yeah, it'll probably be me. We all know my kind of luck right there. So, JB Delgado, hello from Dilley, Texas. Sir, I am not sure where Dilley, Texas is. I know where Dalhart is real well, but I am not sure, and I know where Denton is, but I don't know where Dilley, Texas is. But thanks for tuning in. Kind of give me a quick note here where that's at. I guess that'll be our geography lesson. I'm not sure if Keith is still on here. Good friend of mine that tunes in every week, Keith Hill. He's from Tyler, Texas now. So Delgado, for some reason I know that name as well. Maybe you got a family member or something that was from Dalhart. The name looks familiar. So anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in. Unless you're a bull hauler, it's probably where you're from and not where you really are. So speaking of that one, a buddy of mine I talked to tonight, Jeremy Jansen, the founder of Pure Country Livestock, says, "Oh, south of San Antonio." Okay, thanks. I was on the phone with my buddy Jeremy Jansen. He's the founder and the CEO of Pure Country Livestock Association. I was talking to him today. He loaded cattle down in Georgia or something like that. He was flat fit to be tied. I couldn't help but chuckle. He was banging his head against the wall as far as what some dispatcher did as usual, and hopefully he's got it all straightened out pretty good. And then come to find out, the phone rings, talking to another buddy of mine, and they were about 15 minutes apart and didn't even know it. Guess that's what happens when you don't answer your buddy's phone calls. So Andy, I'm sure you're ahead of him now because he's probably sleeping. So anyway, well, I think I'm going to get off of here. I can't hardly hold my eyes open. I'm flat out exhausted. I know I'm the boring one. It's a shame Tyler's not here tonight because I'm sure he had something exciting to tell people. I know he's been dealing a lot with some kind of out of cycle calves that have been born, chasing them around, getting them all checked out and everything like that. And I know Sunday he was putting up hay. I couldn't help but laugh. His favorite pastime seems to be involve putting up hay all the time, but I think for once he was actually using a tractor instead of having to throw the bales by hand. But it would have been kind of humorous watching him throw 500 or 600 pound round bales around. But anyway, I think I'm going to bail. I've got an early day tomorrow. It's going to be a long one, so we'll talk to y'all later. Just kind of keep your eye peeled. It isn't always set in stone on Tuesdays. Kind of depends on what my schedule is going to be. And those of you that went to GATS, I know you had a pretty good time. And big shout out to Leon Everett Music. You guys need to go check him out. Leon was a big star back in the 70s and 80s. Make sure you go check his music out and everything like that. Let's bring real country music back. We as truck drivers, we have that ability. And I've kind of got some feedback from a friend of mine that was down there, kind of facilitated him being down there, and he said Leon absolutely had a ball, and he is looking forward to doing more truck shows and being more involved with the trucking industry. And ironically, kind of a little bit of his history back in the 70s when he kind of got started after he come back from Vietnam. I think he did 2 tours in Vietnam. Bill told me that he got his start in country music because of I think it was Fulmer Trucking down in South Carolina. So he's kind of got a soft spot in his heart for the trucking industry. Go to YouTube and check out Leon Everett's music. I mean, you want some good sounding 1970s, 1980s style country music, if that's what you enjoy. Go check his music out. Show him some love. Let him know that the trucking industry is behind him, and you never know where he's going to show up You never know, there might be a benefit or a truck show or something like that, And I know he was in an accident yesterday on his way back from Dallas. Four-wheeler spun out in front of him, and lucky it wasn't even worse than it was. So, but anyway, enough of that. I'm going to get some sleep. We will see you guys either next Tuesday or Wednesday. Just kind of follow Chrome and Steel. I'll make sure I keep everybody up to date on when we're going to be doing the show, but we always try to stick with the 8 p.m. stuff, and I'll make sure I got my less than reliable sidekick with me next week. So y'all have a good night. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Make sure you check out Jack's Chrome Shop also for all your chrome, stainless, lights, all that good stuff. Check them out too on the web. And get signed up with the Chrome and Steel Club at chromeandsteelradio.com. I know we've got our t-shirts are now available. And I think you can get the new Bill Weaver music t-shirt with Bullhaulin, with the Bullhaulin picture on the back of it. It's actually pretty cool. And I believe Dave now has the official t-shirt of Bullhaulin BS, the hashtag Haulpaka t-shirts now in stock. So go check that out at the on the store at Chrome and Steel Radio, and get yours today. Love to see somebody out there on the road wearing a Novak Alpaca Company t-shirt. I'd fall over laughing the first person I see doing that. So anyway, y'all take care and have a good night. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week.